The SR-91 Aurora, the plane that doesn't exist. Few stories in the field of aviation mysteries are as captivating as the SR-91 Auroras. Often discussed in military circles and among enthusiasts, this rumored hypersonic aircraft represents the meeting point of official secrecy and scientific ambition. The Pentagon's black programs investigate cutting-edge technologies. The Aurora is still a mystery and a vanishing specter of the sky. We examine the hazy boundary between fact and fiction as we dig into rumors, declassified reports, and eyewitness tales, raising concerns about the actual potential of contemporary combat and the mysteries that might never be revealed. The Pentagon has a long history of supporting the classified development of cutting-edge technology, which is still frequently referred to as black programs. The most covered initiatives nowadays are categorized as special access programs, or SAPs, which restrict information sharing even among those with the highest security clearances. Other SAPs are never acknowledged at all, and even others that are acknowledged are never fully disclosed, even years after completion. Upon reviewing declassified papers, eyewitness testimonies, historical media coverage, and more forum posts than you could take pictures of from the YouTube, it appears highly improbable that the US ever had a fleet of secret hypersonic aircraft in operation. However, that does not imply that something similar never darkened Area 51's enormous hangar doors. It's crucial to keep in mind that there is a significant difference between cutting-edge technology that may be accessible but isn't sustainable from an economic, resource, or even political perspective, and technology that is sufficiently developed and dependable to be mass-produced and used in combat operations. Simply said, even though it's the newest phone to reach the market, the iPhone in your pocket does not have the most cutting-edge smartphone technology available today. It's only the technology that could be manufactured in large quantities for a specific market and price range. The real cutting-edge communications technology would surely be far more expensive, maybe unreliable, and possibly mind-blowing. Programs for aircraft can advance similarly. For $2 billion, you might be able to construct an amazing aircraft, but that doesn't guarantee you can start a production line for them the next week. Prototypes, technology demonstrators, and small batch manufacture of exotic aircraft are not thought to be typical of restricted facilities like the popular Area 51 or Lockheed Martin's Palmdale plant. It can be verified. Occasionally, efforts fail to yield the desired result. They can occasionally be too costly or require too much upkeep to be acceptable. And occasionally, America's secrets are buried in the desert and never heard of again. SR-91, the strategic need for airborne surveillance, gave rise to Aurora. During its tenure as a reconnaissance platform, Lockheed's SR-71 Blackbird, the world's fastest jet-powered aircraft, notably outran almost 4,000 missiles. It was nearly hard to stop using even the most sophisticated surface-to-air missile systems or highest-flying intercept planes because of its capacity to attain and sustain speeds above Mach 3 for hours at a time. Therefore, most people concluded that the Air Force's decision to retire the wildly popular SR-71 in the late 1980s was because the United States already had a faster and higher flying replacement in the works. There was some truth to such an assumption. A replacement for the Blackbird was a topic of much debate in the cloistered corridors of Congress and the Pentagon. Decades later, indisputable facts have been so fundamentally twisted around speculative stories that trying to uncover the truth about Aurora will unavoidably lead you down a convoluted hallway of allusions to innumerable other actual or fictitious classified programs, some of which may still exist today. After all, Aurora has long been suspected of being a triangular hypersonic aircraft, evoking memories of Lockheed Martin's own SR-72 program, which the company extensively promoted before the current hypersonic weapons race began. Even though satellites were already proving to be quite helpful for gathering intelligence at the time, airborne reconnaissance was still necessary after the SR-71 was retired, just as it is today. To fulfill the country's reconnaissance requirements, the SR-71 was temporarily unretired in the 1990s. Many people believed that the Air Force would not abandon the SR-71 unless a deserving replacement was already in the works. And, in a way, they might have been correct. Proof of the SR-91 Aurora's role as a technology showcase. There is some indication that during the period commonly linked to Aurora, an incredibly fast aircraft was being tested. A journalist called Steve Douglas was listening to military aircraft channels in Southern California on 2 different occasions in April 1992 when he heard some extremely strange radio conversation. According to Douglas, the jet must have been traveling at a very high altitude and speed because an aircraft with a call sign, gas pipe, was coordinating with air traffic controllers from the nearby Edwards Air Force Base. The controller informed the pilots that they were 81 miles out and at 67,000 feet before continuing a time later, 36,000 miles away, 70 miles out, above the glide slope. Almost all of America's fixed-wing assets were destroyed by coming in from 67,000 feet, except the SR-71 and U-2, which were both verified to be in the air on the days Douglas recorded the radio broadcasts. When William B. Scott, the longtime editor of Aviation Week and Space Technology, examined Douglas recordings for Smithsonian Magazine in 2010, he was certain that they were authentic, implying that either the Air Force was lying about the Space Shuttle's covert 1992 landing at Edwards or gas pipe must have been a high-speed classified aircraft. Seismologists from the U.S. Geological Survey had been documenting tremors close to the San Gabriel Valley in Southern California in August 1992, which Bill Sweetman and other members of the prestigious defense magazine Jane's Defense Weekly reported were consistent with a sonic boom from a high-altitude supersonic aircraft. Jim Morey, a seismologist with the U.S. Geological Survey at Caltech, told the LA Times in 1992 that all they could say was that it was something that was moving through the atmosphere at a speed several times faster than sound in a direction that was typically northeast. Sweetman argued that there were no known aircraft in American hangars that matched the alleged sonic booms. He said, "It's too fast for any aircraft that we know of." Although the Air Force denied it at the time, Sweetman thought the sonic booms might have originated from a classified aircraft being tested out of Groom Lake, also known as Area 51. However, just 1 month before Jane's report, two F-117 Nighthawks and a KC-135 refueling tanker were spotted flying in formation with an odd aircraft with diamond-shaped lighting near Beale Air Force Base in Northern California, according to reports from Aviation Week and Space Technology, another respected aviation publication. After joining the formation, the odd aircraft immediately shut off its outside illumination, and its engine produced a distinctive sound that sounded like air rushing through a large tube, according to eyewitness accounts published in Aviation Week. Despite being located far north of the San Gabriel Valley, which is close to Los Angeles, Beale Air Force Base is just 320 miles away from Groom Lake, which would take 5 minutes to travel at Mach 5. Photographs of strange contrails known as donuts on a rope are among the other tales connected to Aurora. It has been hypothesized that Aurora might have an advanced pulse detonation engine because of the strange appearance of these vapor trails, although this theory is not supported by evidence. The first PDE aircraft was constructed and flown by the Air Force Research Laboratory in 2008. Its engine, which was made up of 4 distinct PDE pipes that fired 20 times per second, could only reach 120 miles per hour. Ironically, the name of that plane was Borealis. The spacing between any kind of donut would be too small to see from the ground because a similar PDE would need to fire hundreds of times per second to reach hypersonic speeds. Rather, a liquid methane mixed cycle ramjet or scramjet, as proposed by Sweetman in the Washington Post in 1992, would be far more feasible if Aurora or anything comparable existed. Proof that the SR-91 Aurora is a flying aircraft. One may reasonably conclude that Uncle Sam has something unique flying out of Groom Lake based on reports from 1992 of what appeared to be a high-speed aircraft in testing near the now infamous Area 51. However, a series of sightings in the United Kingdom starting in 1989 provided a completely different story. American sightings in 1992 were not of a new aircraft in testing, if these accounts are to be trusted. In conclusion, the SR-91 Aurora is still a mystery, cloaked in mystery and secrecy. The existence of a hypersonic aircraft has been suggested by several publications and ideas, but concrete proof of its operational condition is still lacking. Although there is still a need for sophisticated airborne reconnaissance, the difficulty and expense of creating such technologies frequently keep them from being put into production. Consequently, Aurora might represent not only the quest for advanced aviation technology, but also the enigmas of military research and the boundaries of public awareness of classified initiatives. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment below to let us know what you think.